Hello everybody, and welcome to Dungeons & Dragons Valkyrie, a homebrew Dungeons & Dragons campaign where a bunch of complete strangers who met on Reddit, actually, become the bestest of friends while playing Dungeons & Dragons live for you every Monday night, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. I am your Dungeon Master for the evening, The Majestic, creator of this channel here on Twitch, which is www.twitch.tv/TheMajesticGaming, G-A-M-I-N-O-G, as well as the YouTube channel where these are uploaded to as well, which is youtube.com/TheMajestic, or you can find it in the link down below. But today I am joined by these same incredible players as last week. Once again, we do not have Charlie with us. He is feeling under the weather, but we hope him the best, that he feels very good soon, and that he is back with us next week. But I will let everybody introduce themselves, starting with Rachel. Say hello.
Hello.
Hi.
My name's Rachel, and at least for tonight, I'm playing Mira Helder, our half-elven rogue. But we'll see where that goes.
Don't.
Oh yeah, because we're probably gonna die. I pulled up my character sheet and I was like, oh right, I'm unconscious.
It's possible. I mean, and Brandon.
Hello, I'm Brandon. I played Jax, the Black Dragonborn Paladin.
Perfect. And Justin.
Hi, I am Justin. I currently play the Fire Genasi Warlock, Zashmar Efreet, who is unconscious, like I said. So we'll see how long that lasts.
We'll see, but where else can we find you as well, Justin?
I am also Zero Score on the internet. I actually do have some cool stuff going out tomorrow as of this live stream. So check that out over on my YouTube channel. I'm super excited. I sometimes I get to do like special stuff that isn't just like the normal weekly content. So yeah, I always like to promote those a little more than usual.
Yeah, awesome. It
That's a lot of
sounds
effort
very
into them.
special, and there's a good bit of mystery behind it too. We cannot wait to check it out. You can also find the link to Zero Score's channel just by searching Zero Score, or by going to a lot of the videos they upload on YouTube. I'll include the link there as well. And does anybody else have any news throughout the week as well?
Nope.
Gosh.
I don't remember the password apparently to the build-up thing.
We will
I
not
can't
say
get
that
in.
out loud.
Yeah.
No, I know, I can't get in.
Possibly in Discord, but I'm also streaming that, so would you possibly mind, Rachel? And while you're doing that, I will go ahead and mention a few other things that I like to mention. Once again, a huge shout out to @CarlyMatson on Twitter for this incredible artwork that she did for us a while back. That we our first ever artwork that we got, and we absolutely love it. There, of course, is Jax, again played by Brandon. There is Mira, played by Rachel. There is Delilah, played by Courtney sometimes, but it's been a while, and Delilah's character has ventured off on her own path. And there, of course, is Zashmar, played by Justin. Beautiful, beautiful artwork. Also, for the music, I would like to thank... We also got some other music this week as well. We have some... a shout out to @Kevin McLeod, who some of his incredible artwork we've gotten the ability to use, but a lot of people have the ability to use that, so long as they mention him, and that is so kind of him to make his artwork free for people, so be sure to check that out. In fact, right now, all this mysterious music that you're hearing is all him. So shout out to him, and once again, huge shout out to Taylor Davis. Thank you so much. She and her people have allowed us to use her music on our streams as well. So I try my best to incorporate all these incredible musics into the atmosphere and help make it a lot more D&D and fantasy for you guys. But now we begin and join back into the world of Valkyrie, where we left off. Mira and Zash had ventured off on their own when Mira heard from a mysterious man who she met the first time entering the town of Lumb about how if Mira were to pick up just a few simple ingredients for him out from the woods, that he would give her a, good health potion. But one of those ingredients included 3 sets of pixie wings. Now, venturing out into the woods, they were able to find the other ingredients, but it was only after a while that they finally came across some pixies, and not knowing whether they should decide to confront the pixies or just attack, they decided to attack. Now, pixies can be very, very powerful foe if you choose to take arms up against them. Having the ability Polymorph, they quickly learned that the pixies were not meant to be trifled with in normal circumstances, and Zashmar fell unconscious, Mira surrendered, and the pixies came up and thrust a strange bit of pixie dust into her face. Mira became weak, not necessarily because becoming unconscious, which thank you again, Rachel, for pointing out, because half-elves cannot be put to sleep with normal magic. But she still became very weak. And the world around her started to close in. And change. Become darker. Become cleaner. A lot more tidy than the wood ground. Than the ground of the woods, but it actually does turn to a wood ground. Wood walls surround her slowly, pixel by pixel almost. Column, wooden pillars start to rise up out of the ground. And as we join this week, Mira, you are in a place that you have not been for a very long time. You are in a small shop just outside of oh my god, I can't believe I forgot the name of the town. Jesus, I only made this world, but just outside the town of Asanti, there was a small shop. And in your travels, you remember it. It's the same shopkeep behind the counter as when you walked in. You remember this shopkeep because he was not a very kind guy to you. Seemed very short-tempered. Seemed very on edge. And so, I want you to go ahead and make an intelligence roll.
Okay. I swear to God, I'm not lying. It's a natural 20.
Natural 20. Beautiful.
You wicked smart.
You're wicked smart. I love it.
Please let this mean I roll well tonight.
You smell the scents of the shop, of the mix of musk and wood grain. It's like you're actually there. You remember this shop. You remember that because of this guy's short temper, you decided to help yourself to one of his items. A small, simple, but gold necklace that you, in your sly demeanor, were able to pocket before leaving the store as if you were just browsing. It was only after an interaction that you did that left you a bit uneasy, but you decided that it would be better in your hands, that you were more deserving of this golden amulet. Or silver, or golden chain. You're there. Your face, your body is facing toward the door. Your head is turned toward the shopkeep on your right. And you reach for the door and it's locked. Your other hand reaches inside your pocket and you have that same exact amulet. This was the first time that you haven't stolen from someone who... that you stole from someone who hadn't been someone that you were told was the terrible person. You just decided on your own. This person's being rude to me. What would you like to do?
So the door's still locked?
The door is locked. You could try and pick it.
I'm gonna look at the man. Excuse me, your door's locked.
He's sort of just staring at you. Somewhat frozen, but also not. He's breathing. He's there, it seems. It doesn't seem like he's an illusion, but at the same time, you don't know where his mind is. He has a bit
Are there any
of pout on
windows?
his face. Very small slivers of windows up at the top, just enough to shed a little bit of light in, but the natural dark glum atmosphere sort of helps the shop in a way. Mostly it sells miscellaneous wares, with all the jewelry being up at the front desk that you had been able to divert his eye away to the opposite corner of the desk when you pocketed it with your right hand. But this, again, sort of mostly candlelit, but also a little bit of sunlit room with the dark texture of the wood all around you makes the atmosphere that it seems they were trying to go for.
Can I see if I can find the key to the door hanging somewhere?
Yeah. Making a perception check.
8.
You don't see any keys lying around. You don't see any keys or items that someone might hang from a wall like that on any of the walls around you either. It's just the jewelry, the racks of miscellaneous wares and collectibles, and the shop keeping the door. And a door behind him to his left.
So he's not really responding to anything, right?
Not really.
Alright, I'll try and pick the lock.
He'll, watch you. He's, looking at you, but he's not responding to anything. You try and pick the lock. Go ahead and make a, let's say, sleight of hand.
Would this be with my thieves' tools?
Yes, it would. Did you have your thieves' tools at the time?
I always
Back
have
when
them.
you were venturing? Okay. I didn't know if, it was... I forget, what were the 2 sets that you are sort of still waiting on that you haven't gotten yet?
Oh, that's Forgery and Poisoner's Kit.
Gotcha. Thank you. Yes, you have your thieves' tool.
14?
You're trying to pick at it. You're sort of scraping up the metal around the lock. It's just not budging.
Hmm. Can I try again, or I can't remember how many times I can try before.
You have to do it after a short rest.
Okay.
We'll say it's sort of like, I hate to reference Skyrim again, but sort of like Skyrim. You can't rest here while enemies are present. Not necessarily that there are enemies, but you just can't rest necessarily.
I'm gonna regret this. Can I try and kick at the door?
Yeah, go ahead and make a strength check.
10.
You get up your might, and with your small half-elvish stature, you let out a rather impressive kick, putting as much force as you can behind it. You really dig in the heel, allowing the pressure from your femur and bones to dig into the door, but as much force as you put into it, it's as though there were just solid concrete extending forever beyond this door. You just cannot kick it. You kick, you can't break it down. You kick and it just doesn't really budge. It's like you kicked a rock hard structure.
Looking at the door, what kind of hinges? How is it attached to the wall?
by normal 2 hinges, top and bottom.
Okay. And from what I've seen of the store so far, is it like kind of like a general store type thing, or is it?
It's miscellaneous wares and goods.
Can I look for a
sort of
screwdriver?
Like a medieval thrift shop. Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check.
17.
You find a screwdriver. But upon inspecting the hinges a bit more, it's not like there are normal screws on it. You find like tools that might work. You also find like a little hammer. Again, a medieval screwdriver kind of thing. But you find like a little hammer that and chisel that you think might be able to work. And even then, it looks as though it's completely flush with the wood grain, the hinge. It looks as though it would be very difficult to actually chisel down to it, and even then you don't know if you could really get it off the hinges.
Okay. Then I'm going to go to the door that is next to...
Alright. We will get to that in just a second.
Got
Before
it.
you continue and move over to the next door, we're going to go ahead and join in with Zash. Yes, that's right. You are not out of the woods yet, but I didn't even... I just thought of that right now. Okay. I'm proud of myself.
But
It's pretty
Yeah,
good.
thank
Pretty
you.
Because I was actually going to say something, and then you realized it was a joke, and I was kind of upset that I couldn't. But I'll give it to you.
Once again, you're in a familiar place. Once again, it's so cold. Dark. Glum. Silent. Until... Oh God. What have you done to yourself this time?
I was helping people like you told me to. This is what happens.
Helping people? I don't think I ever would have told you to do that. I said you had to stick with people. Help people is just weak. But I don't have to tell you that you're weak, do I? You see for yourself right now how far you are from being a god. Pixies. That's what destroyed you. Pixies. And this loud booming laughter just echoes out along the horizon, just constantly going and going and going. It hits the wooden sort of fence that surrounds you in a perfect circle, and then continues on from there and keeps on going and going and going. Again, not a wooden fence, but a fence of the woods is what I meant to say.
I mean, technically, it's a wooden fence.
Yeah. I just didn't want you to think that there was a nice white picket.
In my defense, polymorph is a hell of a spell.
Yeah, it is. Maybe one day you'll get to that level, but not if you die before then. I told you, I still need your help to get what needs to be done. And you're no use to me dead.
Yeah. Something tells me you won't let me die anytime soon. Maybe I'll take advantage of that.
It's not like you can. Hell, if I do help you out here, I'm gonna be giving up a part of my soul to do so. Last thing I'd want to do is put such a precious item to waste on the likes of you. So don't think this comes often.
We'll see how that goes. I still got 2 more wishes to give this chick. Who knows how many of the rest of them will get me killed.
I don't know why you would have made such an agreement in the first place. We're only as strong as our word most of the time. Yeah, that's right. I might be a fiend, but I'm still at my word. I expect you to do the same. And trust me, I'll make sure you are.
For me, this is all about becoming a god. That three-headed creature back there gets me one step closer.
Okay.
It's a tie to that world that I want to be a part of.
That world. If you want to become a god, just follow along the path that I'm giving you. That's as close as you're ever gonna get, trust me.
Maybe I don't trust the path you've laid out for me, and I've got plans of my own. I'll go along
Like
with your plan,
what?
but that doesn't mean I'm gonna be a willing participant of it.
Oh. I really don't think you get the predicament you're in. If I give you part of my soul now, then part of my soul will live in you. It won't just be spent to help you recover, no. Part of me will live in you.
And I guess I can't say no.
Oh, you can. I could always find someone else who will help me. But maybe I do like your company, who knows? Your ambition is certainly good. Your drive does align with what I strive for. So who knows? Maybe I won't let you go.
Yeah. I don't think you will. I think you need me as much as I apparently need you, according to you.
Well, see you say that. But I know you too. And I don't think, as much as you want to be a god, you're willing to let yourself die. Here, now, by pixies. You always strove for yourself. You always strove to become stronger, and what, you're gonna give that up just to spite me? Ah.
Yeah, you're right. When I die, it'll be on my own terms.
Yeah, I know. And who knows, maybe this bit of my soul will possibly help you. Possibly make you that bit stronger that you're trying to get to.
Or maybe it'll just itch. Who's to say?
This is gonna be fun. Well, I'll get to work on doing what I need. You sit here, relax for a bit. And soon you'll wake up in your precious, fairy-covered forest. And then the voice just...
Alright.
As the voice disappears, it's not like an audible tone difference, but it is sort of like someone just went from being silent on the other end of a phone call to actually hanging up and just being gone. Like, it just sort of disappears completely. Alright, and with that, we now go over to Brandon. Hello, Brandon.
Hello.
You are still in the inn, correct?
I believe so. Unless it's been a few hours and I can go pick up my gauntlets.
It has not been a few hours. It's been like a half an hour.
Okay. Alright.
They got killed pretty quickly. So, are you gonna, where at or in the inn are you chilling? Are you still talking to the shopkeep, or are you chilling out in the den?
Yeah, I just figured I would find a spot to hang out and sit there.
Alright. while you're sitting there, you hear the familiar noise that you've been hearing for the past 20 minutes or so. Ching, 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 ching. As the front door opens and someone walks in, you turn your head to the right to see a very familiar face. This is Grendel. Ah, there you are.
Hello, Grendel.
It is time. They need you.
Who?
Follow me. I will explain on the way.
Okay. I kind of like hide fury a little bit with like my backpack. Like I have it like this. Like for some reason my backpack is facing the front instead of the back, and I just have it like.
Okay. You allowed Grendel to see Fury, right?
Yeah.
Okay. No need to hide the dog. We're just going across the street.
If you say so.
So, I'm sure you're wondering how it is that I knew of you guys.
I am.
Very occasionally, there is magic, powerful enough to be heard throughout the eons. And occasionally, there are mages who have spent their lives to study it. Magic can come in all shapes and forms, and possibly come in the form of destinies so great that they've been predicted for millennia. He's saying this while walking. He has a cane now. I don't know if I told you this. He has a cane and quite a bit of a waddle. He puts a lot of pressure onto it in his right hand as he walks onto his right leg, wearing a large that drags on the ground gray robe that it's not like wide large, it's just very long and multiple layers. And on this hot day he seems unaffected by the heat, just continues to walk. So, aren't you going to ask?
Ask what? What the destiny is? That's what's on my mind right now.
That, yes. That I cannot tell you. But most people would ask, why us? Why me? I'm surprised. Surprised that wasn't your first thought. He just continues to walk.
Well, I always felt different than the people I grew up around, and I just assumed I was meant for a different path, so the fact that there's some sort of destiny out there doesn't really shock me.
He stops. Well, we all have a destiny. What I just told you is that your guys' destiny is so powerful that it's been written in stone for hundreds of years.
Where are these stones?
1,000. All over. All around the world of Valkyrie. There's not one template that tells you such things, but in magical studies, you will know when to find exactly the predictions and the writings and transcriptions that are set out before you. Even though this is the only mages guild here in Lumb, even though it's dying, and we only have 4 members now, 5 including myself, there are many mages, many librarians who have been working on these transcriptions for very long times. And Just because you're different doesn't mean that you're meant for things that are great. In your case, yes, that happened to be the case, but everyone thinks, oh, I'm different, so I am meant for great things.
Wow.
It's a pity. Because very rarely does that happen, and very often people are let down. Here we are. He opens up the front door once again to the Mages Guild. By the way, which this is the first time you notice it, that on the outside of it says Lumb, Neigh, Nigh. That's the name of the Mages Guild. And yes, I did that on purpose. They're members of the alumni. Can you go?
Okay. Is Kale still, like, in this room?
He actually is not. He's not in the main room.
Okay.
Head into the kitchen.
What's in the kitchen?
Well, let's see. There's a stove. There's some pot pie. What do you mean, what's in the kitchen? Just go in the kitchen.
Alright.
You walk in, and there are counters and what appears to be an icebox and charcoal grill or stove. But at the far corner, beyond some of the countertops, there peeks out a staircase, which leads downward from right to left. It goes down, and the door is like halfway in the room, and it opens up in front of you. Sort of a similar layout to the building that you guys encountered, where the door swings open to the back of the wall. And yeah. Now, I bet you're wondering what's down there.
I am.
Mage's Drain. Let's go. He quickly waddles now, very quickly, very quick paced. Opens up the door for you.
I walk in.
You walk down the stairs. There's a natural glow in the basement, which is strange. With no windows, obviously. Most basements are dark. This one still has no windows, but there's just a natural energy that lights it up. And across the very bottom of the steps, you see a bookcase full to the brim with books. And as you walk further, you see opening up the now the staircase becomes or the wall and ceiling becomes a railing that continues downward. And as it opens, you can see more bookcases lining the wall all to the way to the left. On the right is just a wall, but all the way down to the left is just bookcase after bookcase after bookcase. The same dimensions as the alumni building. And there, in a little study, is Kelrendir. At the far corner, after you get down the bookcase, you see a similar portal that you've recognized. And you see all sorts of display cases with many oddities, from troll skulls to weapons that, even in this glowing room, seem to be giving off their own light and their own energies. So, we are going to be going through that portal. I take it you're familiar with these?
I am. Where does this portal lead?
To those who need you desperately right now.
Alright.
The difference with this portal is that it's not glowing. He holds out his hands over it, and slowly the docile and stagnant water or liquid that's in there begins to pulse with energy, little bits of what appears to be electricity, but in like little sparkly forms, expend out from the center, little bit by little bit, as slowly this wave of powerful, bright energy in this blue form just begins to expend outward, and every bit that it expends outward toward that bit, once it's lit up by it, begins to swirl inward, moving to the very center, and it moves until the entire portal is glowing blue. After you.
Before we step in, you said us being different isn't the reason that we're set on this destiny. So why is it us? Why?
Because sure, you're different now, but no matter how different you are, you cannot as set in stone as destiny is, no one can know their own future. You cannot predict what is going to happen, and you cannot predict whether that difference will lead to anything. Right now you are different, and right now you are useless. You are pathetic. You are, sure, a dragon humanoid, but that's really all that you hold. Being different. But it's what you will do. What has yet to happen to you, and what you have yet to affect on this world, that will make your destiny great. And it all starts now, as he pushes you in. I want you just to make a dexterity check.
Wow. It's gonna be an 11.
Okay. You do not have, like, the quick-mindedness to deflect his push. So you are pushed down into the water, but you hold your composure. You take more so a step down as opposed to falling face first down. And, you just hear this quick water surrounding you. You've never... Yeah, no, even throughout your history, you've never actually gone through a teleportation circle and experienced it. I mean, sure, in the Underdark, they took you through it while you were unconscious, but you've never been conscious. So as you teleport, we once again move back to Mira. Hello again, Rachel. Sorry about that.
Hello.
So, you go to the other door.
Yeah, I'm gonna try the other door.
The second door looks the same as the first.
Alright.
The
I'm gonna
hinges
try it,
look
and I'm gonna
broken.
keep an eye on the guy and make sure he doesn't try and stop me.
It's weird. His head is turning. You're like... This is really unsettling. You're... I would say... Like... 12 o'clock is straight ahead of him. He's turning his head to look at you. You're at about 8 o'clock to his left, back left. And his head is turned all the way around to you over his shoulder, but his body has not moved. It's very unsettling.
Is he looking at any particular part of me? Or...
Your eyes.
Pardon?
He's looking right at your eyes.
Eyes. Okay,
Right
I'm gonna
into
try the
it.
door.
You try the door. It is locked. Are you gonna try to pick that door?
Sure, I'll give it a try.
Go ahead and roll sleight of hand once again.
9.
Again, it's just breaking through it. Or it's just like breaking the metal and scratching it up. But it's not unlocking it.
I'm just gonna look at the guy. What do you want?
He doesn't speak.
Do I have any idea, like, do I think this is a hallucination, a dream? Do I think this is happening in real time?
Make an intelligence check.
7.
You don't know. It really feels like you're there. It's really strange. You know that this is like something out of a dream, but it's super real. You wonder why someone would act like this while you're trapped in this place, but everything is solid. Everything's
There are no other exits besides the 2 doors.
Nope.
I'm gonna do the only thing I can think of doing and putting the necklace I took on the counter.
Okay.
Are you happy now?
He looks down at the necklace. And back at your eyes. Yeah, he goes, "What is this?"
Isn't this why you've been keeping me here? I took the necklace, so I put it back.
At that moment, there's a bit of energy that just pulses out from the room. From the center of between you and the necklace, the room gets a shade brighter. The muskiness goes away and it's just the smell of the wood grain now. And there's an energy back to this guy. As he's once again in his bit of rage, or we'll just say temperament. He goes, "You took my... Why would you do that? Why would you steal from me?" And all of a sudden, the door behind him to his left opens up, and through it walks a beautiful maiden. She walks out with her head down. She says, "I'm so sorry, Eli. I don't ever want to fight again. I'm sorry that we got like that. I know times are hard between us and finances aren't good. But we've gotten through this together. And we'll get through it together again. Please, Eli, I don't want to have a fight like that." As all of his attention disappears from the necklace, and on her, he begins to strongly and confidently, but he lets his eyes swell up. "I'm sorry too. Here." He takes the necklace that you handed down. "I've always thought that this would look good on you." And he starts to put it around her neck. "Shouldn't we sell it? Shouldn't we get money for this?" "No. We should just worry about being happy for now." And slowly, from the end behind you and to your far back right, everything begins to disappear and fade off into the distance, bit by bit, pixel by pixel, like it appeared. And you're in darkness now. Completely dark all the way around you. "Hello," you hear. It's a very familiar voice. "Oh,
Hello?
daughter, it's you."
Oh, no.
Things begin to come in focus, and the darkness just sort of slowly brightens. You're in a very familiar living room. I'm not gonna say your home living room. You never had a particular set home, but this is one that you were in for a while. A lovely, lavish place that was very nice. And you were sitting in sort of a tea room more than a living room, with her sitting there in a single chair. You're sitting on a double couch, and across the way is another double couch, love seat, where your twin brothers are sitting. What's wrong with you? Where's your mind been going? She always does this. She daydreams too much. Darling, is there something on your mind?
Kind of. It's a bit fuzzy right now.
A bit.
Not quite sure how I got here.
Oh. Well, hopefully you didn't let today's events break you too much.
Remind me what happened?
Go make an intelligence roll.
Okay. Oh, that one's cut. 20 total.
20 total. You remember this. This was in one of the last homes that you were in. This was possibly the moment that you decided that you wanted out of the family. This was after someone lost their life. This was after you guys had, and I apologize if I'm going against anything that you said, but I'm pretty sure that this is with it. This is after you guys decided to steal everything from a building. Well, not everything, but many of the items from a building from, we'll say, an acquaintance of the family. Someone that you guys had known for a while. And then set it on fire. And unknowingly, they were still inside. You guys were so loud. You were so confident that if there was somebody in there, they would have woken up. But upon hearing the next day that their house had burned down and they were inside, and they found the remains of the person, you were devastated. It took you all a bit of a moment, some less than others, to come to terms with this, and you guys had tea in the room, decided to talk, get things out of the way, and in the past, your mother convinced you. Well, didn't convince you because you still left, but your mother convinced your twins and tried to convince you that it's best to just put it behind you and still work toward the lavish lifestyle you've all become accustomed to. Sure, someone died, but people die all the time. Every day. All over Valkyrie. All over every plane. Even gods die. If it's their time, it's their time. And you were there. Again.
I need some air.
Oh, okay. Sure, you know where the front door is. And there's a, sort of a hallway that leads, from your memory, if you were to go through this, what's it called? Open doorway. I forget the exact name for it, but like there's an open doorway and then a table across that, and halls open up to the left and right. Normally, if you go down the right, take a left and then another right, you'll be in the front foyer. That's the only entrance to this room, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna go that way.
You walk out through the open doorway. You look to your left, and it's as though beyond this room, the doorway goes and then just breaks off into darkness. And then to your right, beyond this room, the doorway just breaks off into darkness. Everything feels real. Everything smells the same as it did that day. You are there. But you know that you're not.
It's just the room.
It's just the room. And with that, we're going to go back over to Zash. Zashmar.
That was dark.
After sitting a bit in the cold, damp air, you groggily, warily, and in pain wake up.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, quit your belly aching. Now, we gotta go find that friend of yours.
So mechanically, am I like all the way back up?
You can stand
Fully
up.
healed?
No, you're at 1 hit point.
Cool. Cool. Not much of a soul, huh?
You have the hit point of a kitten.
You do. But not that of a badger. You're weaker than a badger.
Oh, well, thanks. Thanks for that. So can I, like, use a healing potion before I go chasing after my friend?
Do you have one?
I have 3.
Yeah, you can use one.
What is
Oh,
a minor
that's
health
nice.
potion? Like, what is the...
1d4 plus 4? 2d4
Alright.
plus 4? Which one is it? Does anyone know off the top of their head?
My vote's 2, but I don't know.
Uh-huh. You should have been really confident about that. I probably would have believed you too. You should have been like, oh yes, definitely 2.
my.
Statistics. That's true. I know. I trust you guys.
I don't know enough about D&D to confidently say anything.
Gotcha.
It's 2d4
Thank
plus
you.
2.
Thank you. And I know that's somewhere on one of these panels too, but... Alright, so yeah, 2d4 plus 2.
Okay, so that is 7.
Alright.
Oof. I need, like, all of these to actually heal, so I'm not going to do that.
Yeah,
But I can at least take a hit
yeah.
if there is one on the way. All right.
Smart thinking. Smart thinking.
So, yeah. I'm going to run over to where I assume Mira is, the last place I saw her anyway.
Okay. You walk over there, and there are not the pixies. There's not Mira. Yeah.
Can I do an investigation check to see if there's any sign of her being gone or
Yes, you
being
can.
here recently?
We'll say that is survival,
I'm okay with that.
because you're actually going to be tracking.
Ugh, 12.
12. Don't worry, 12 might be bad, but there are lines of pixie dust on the ground.
Okay, I follow that.
Alright. As you follow the lines of pixie dust, you come to the what appears to be outskirts of sort of a pixie village, almost. There are many small pixie huts, like really tiny. It looks like a little like fairy garden. Have you ever seen one of those like in person? Some people like to build these things called fairy gardens, and it's like a really small magical huts, many of them made from possibly mushrooms or little small colorfully decorated pieces of wood. And there, in the center, standing like a elephant in a chicken pen, is Mira. Very, very quiet, motionless, just standing there.
How big are pixies?
Pixies are like anywhere from an inch high to 3 inches.
All right, nope, can't transform into those. I'm trying to think of a way to use disguise self to not seem like the person that just attacked them.
Gotcha.
Okay. I turn into the crap. I forgot what they're called already. The fish people that one of the pixies turned into.
Do me a favor. Go ahead and make a stealth roll. Go with Toa, is what you're going for.
Thank you.
No problem. Or no, they actually turned into Quaggoth. They didn't turn into the fish people.
Oh, well that then. Because they're about my height, right?
They're large. They're very
Okay.
large. They're like
A
bears.
foot larger?
They're like bears.
I mean, I'm like 6 feet tall.
True.
I can change my height by 1 foot. So I could be a 7-foot Quaggoth.
You'd be a standing 7-foot Quaggoth, which is quite different. But also go ahead and make a stealth roll.
Yeah. 21.
21. All right. You are hidden, and we'll say that this is actually perfect. Like, you come up to these bushes here, and you see the pixie village. Oh boy. There's a lot more of them. As this catches your eye, with the voice telling you, there are, we'll say, 65 to 85 pixies flying around.
Wow.
There are a lot of them. Mostly moving in and out of these buildings, sometimes toward like the larger buildings, which, if you were to guess, you would say are not their residencies, but possibly like buildings that they have set up for a purpose in their society. So. Oh, I see what you're gonna do. Do you really think you're gonna fool a bunch of magical creatures?
I don't really think I have another choice.
Well, she is important, but they haven't killed her. In pixies, if they kill someone, they kill them. My guess would be they're testing her.
For what?
Her morals? Pixies, you see, they have this ability to sense all good and evil. I wonder why they left you behind to die. Granted, they wouldn't expect you to live, so they let you die. If someone's good, they'll help them live. But this one must have confused them. As much as pixies can hold a grudge, they will uphold good and evil more. They will keep those creatures that are good alive, and they will kill or let die those that are evil.
Well, now I definitely gotta save her. She's screwed.
And what are you gonna do against 65 pixies? Light their way?
I don't know. What else? What else can I do?
Well, if they do turn on her, you'll see it. They're probably putting her through tests now to see what she decides. And whether or not she passes, they'll let her go or they'll kill her on the spot. Now, killing her on the spot, they don't just quickly attack because, you know, they're in a hurry or they want to get it done or they're super, super pissed off about how you guys tortured their pixie friends. No. They will set up a whole regiment of pixies, or whatever you want to call it, to attack her all at once. You'll know. So it's your choice. We probably got a while, but if we just want to chill out here, fine. Just be sure you be quiet. If you want to attack and convince them you're one of their own, I'm just Bob Everyman. Well, pixies can tell alignment.
Well, if they're testing for good or evil, maybe I should go get Jax first.
I won't argue against it. Alright, so you
I'm
start...
not gonna make it.
Huh?
Because I'm not gonna make it.
So you start to head back?
Yeah.
Alright. That's gonna be a bit of walking, but now we go back to Jax. Hello again, Brendan.
Hello.
As this water fills up like your ears, your nose, your mouth, it's a disgusting taste. It really is. It's like lemon juice, but it doesn't burn your eyes, thank God, or cuts or sores. But it's really like very sour, like a mix between some sort of acid and lemon juice. You're surrounded by this liquid, and you feel to be falling, just endlessly. You're falling, falling, falling. Then the current just stops. And it's no longer moving up around your body as you move down through it. No, it's starting to move down as you start to move up through it. And you're rising and rising and rising with an equal force until slowly you pop up at a place that is very familiar, but at the same time, you've never been in this particular location. But it seems familiar, it feels familiar, because it is the teleportation area of a bunch of teleport rings, but the building is what you recognize. The building itself appears to be made out of clay, like how many clay huts are in deserts and such. You remember this because almost every building in Mirage was made out of clay.
Ah, shit. Did the wizard follow me?
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Okay.
He's slowly, there's a bubbling behind you as you're standing in front of the teleportation ring. Without missing a beat, he pops up from it and continues his paced walk. Keep up, keep up.
Oh, what are we doing here? I'm not ready to be here yet.
Well, you don't have much of a choice.
Can you at least tell me what's going on? Why I'm here?
They need you, didn't I say?
But who is they? I have no they here anymore.
Your wife and your son. They are here again. That's right. You do have a son. Yes. Your wife is okay for now.
So they did live that day.
Yes. They did.
I'm like, alright, let's go and start walking. I don't know where I'm walking to, but I'm walking.
You walk out into the streets, and it is busier than normal. It's heavy foot traffic, or I should say busier than it was when you were here in the past. It seems like many buildings have been built up or expanded upon since you were here last. The foot traffic is a lot more regular people. humans, a number of draconic people, but again, your clan mostly stayed outside the city, just on the outskirts, and many draconic tribes scatter the cool-ass desert. I know, I can't be serious at times like this when I pick names like that, but but there are a number of draconic people around you, a refreshing amount. But none of them look familiar, like your wife, and none of them look to be the age of the son that you might have. You continue to walk. You see bazaars and all sorts of shops set up, little trays, and selling all sorts of things, from mainly food to clothing racks, and it's become very narrow because of all the shops that have been built up. And this merchant street that you're walking around, everybody's trying to sell you something. Many of the sellers are, again, a huge variety of races, from human to elvish to a number of dwarves, trying to sell you dwarvish armor and items. But Grendel appears to be on a mission, on a pace, and heading steadfastly to the, we'll say, castle at the center of it. You remember this glorious castle you mostly admired from afar, seeing as how, even though the area was always surrounded by many draconish people, the city of Mirage was never overly welcome to them. It always seemed to be humans and then everyone else, but now the city bustling with everyone you feel as welcome as you've never felt. And you see it for the first time really up close, this marvel that just appears to have popped up from the ground with the same texture of the clay as the other huts, but aged to a point where it looks the same color as the sand beneath your feet. Just above it, the setting sun. And Grendel is heading, very confidently, straight to this castle.
So, I don't even know what to ask, really.
Alright.
I just keep up, same pace as him.
You're very, very adamant to get there the moment that he told you that too. And that is where we go back and join with Mira. Upon realizing that it's just darkness around you, what do you do?
Are there any other doors in the room?
That was the only exit to and from the room.
I keep walking in the darkness.
Correction again. To the left and right, it's just darkness, but as you walk up to it, it's like three-dimensional darkness. Like, as you walk up to it, there's no darkness on the floor. There's no floor. There's just a ledge where if you take an item and drop it off, it just falls into the darkness.
I go back in the room.
Okay. So, darling, how are you feeling after all that?
Pretty fucking terrible.
Terrible? What do you mean? Again, darling, people die. It's the way of the world. It's gonna happen to me. It's gonna happen to you. It was just his time.
Yeah, but we've never been the ones to actually let people see that time.
Well,
Sure, we've fucked people over, but we never actually hurt them that badly.
well, some of what we do is hurting people, no matter what. I mean, it's inevitable, really. We're gonna be taking from them.
Yeah,
It's
but
just we
that's
haven't
just
hurt physically.
stuff.
Well, I know that when your father left me and I was all on my own and I didn't have any of my stuff, I know that hurt. So I did something about it. Most people can do things about it. Some people are just weak. Some people just can't. And if they can't, then they never deserve to have any of that in the first place.
I look over at my brothers. What do you two think of this?
Well, I mean, she's right. She's always been right. Yeah, we'll just get over it. We always do, and we'll go get more stuff.
I guess.
There's a darling. Now sit down and have some tea. And tell me, is there anything else bothering you?
I don't know.
Okay. We don't have to talk. Just sit down and drink your tea.
I sit down, but I'm not gonna drink anything.
A toast to the things we have and to the things that we have yet to take. Cheers, cheers. And they all just look at you, holding up their glasses in the air, about to clink, just staring directly at your eyes.
Probably gonna screw me over. I'm gonna run out of the room and jump off that ledge.
Alright, you get up, they just stare at you. Do me a favor.
Oh god.
Actually, no, I'm just gonna roll. Okay, natural 1. Alright. You jump off the ledge and you fall. And fall. And fall. And fall. Slowly, as the vision of the building up behind you, if you look up, disappears. And there's blackness all around. As you continue to fall, you slowly come to like a wind forced slow stop, and then the wind disappears and you fall onto the floor. You stand up. You're standing on a black floor, You notice there are walls to your left and right, in very dim light. It's so difficult to tell. It is so difficult. But in front of you, Jax is standing there. At your 11 o'clock, he's right there. Like 10 feet away. You try and get up the muster, the energy to run toward him, and you just can't move. You cannot step. At your 1 o'clock ahead of you is your mother. Beyond them is a door. Once again, closed door. And now, slowly, as though you just didn't want to see it, it catches your attention. There's a small table in front of you, about stomach high, and on it is a crossbow, loaded with one shot, and the crossbow is dripping this black liquid from the tip. Both are looking at you.
Is there anything else on the table?
Nothing.
And I
No
can't
other
move.
tables. You cannot move. The only ability you have is to speak and move your arms.
Do either of you know what's going on?
They don't respond. They stare at you.
This is some sort of test, isn't it? So either I shoot my mom, or I shoot Jax. I could just stand here and not do anything. I could shoot the door. I'm not trying to shoot the door.
Okay. Go and make an attack roll.
12.
Ding. It hits the door, it bounces back, and nothing happens. They're both standing there, they're both staring at you. Your feet still don't have the courage or muster to move. And you have a crossbow without a bolt. It is at this point that we are going to move back over to Zash. Give you a bit of time to think about your next move. Zash.
I wish I could help you.
You make your way into town. You make your way into the inn. And there's no sign of Brandon or the puppies. Character. There's no sign of Jax or the puppies.
Yeah. Zash goes around town assuming that the puppies would have left some kind of chaos in their wake.
Smart.
And just kind of like does... I want to say, you can correct this, but I want to say just a general investigation check around town.
Yeah.
To speed up the process. to
Which-
find Jax.
Which, by the way, out of game, just to let you guys know, the puppies were left in the basement under the watch of Kel. Just to let you know.
But that's still where Jax was, right? So it would at least get there.
Huh?
Like the basement of where Jax is.
Jax is not in the basement anymore. He's in the town of Mirage, the city of Mirage.
Oh, right, he went to that portal. Dang
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So that stayed behind, and go ahead and make an investigation check.
16.
16. Yeah, actually, you walk around town for a good bit, for a good while, actually. And in the back of your mind, you're thinking, oh my god, Mira's probably woken up. Mira might have already been killed. They might have already deemed it's possible. Mira's probably dead. I gotta find him. You look all around town. You don't really see anything. And then you go back to the inn and you see something that you didn't notice the first time very faintly. There's a very faint, sort of like scorch trail leading right from the inn to the guild.
So he goes to the guild and talks to whoever is still there about where Jax is.
Yeah, I'll say with that investigation check too, you are able to follow it down into the basement, and there's Kel, sitting there, reading a book with the Cerberus puppies in his, lap. They're just chilling out. One of them sort of like, not necessarily a hairball, but has something in his throat. He's like, and a little bit of smoke comes out with each one.
Okay, first of all, I'm gonna need you to teach me how they're so calm. Second of all, where's Jax? I can't find him anywhere.
Well, it's about keeping a calm mind yourself. So, hopefully that helps. And Jax and the mage just went into the portal. And he points to the portal at the other end of the room. It is not glowing. Is there...
To where? I need him.
I don't know the magic to start a teleportation circle yet. It's a lot of magic. I wouldn't even be able to move that, even though I've read up a good bit on it. I don't know. I can give him a message as soon as he gets back.
We don't have that long. Mira's in danger. And I guess I'm a good guy now, so I need to help her.
I'm not sure. I might know one thing that I've learned. Do me a favor. I will get the ingredients myself, but for now, he hands you a pen and a quill and paper. Write down what it is that you need to say.
No boy. Is there like a word limit or anything? Is this one of those?
It's a normal piece of paper, so I mean.
Okay. He basically just writes down that like, sorry I lied, but Mira needed me in the jungle or in the woods. We couldn't take you along. But now she's in trouble. I'm almost dead, and we need your help convincing pixies to give her back.
Okay.
And then P.S. I'll explain more later. I'm not good at writing.
If I'm right, it will take me about an hour to get the spell ready. But once I do, they'll get it immediately. I'm sorry. That's as quickly as I can send it, though.
He takes the note back real quick and writes PPS. Meet us in the woods. I'll leave a trail.
Okay.
And then hands it back to Kel. Says, "Do what you gotta do," and leaves to go back to Mira.
All right. You head out the door. You leave Cerberus puppy.
No, take the puppy.
Take puppies. Got it. All right. So you guys are walking. You walk out the door, walk out into the woods, and begin to head down.
And he basically gets the puppies to like leave like scorch marks as they walk, like kind of like they were accidentally doing around town.
Yeah. You convince them to occasionally leave like little bits of fire. You also find that like when sometimes they won't listen, and you'll just be like, light up your hand and leave one yourself, and then try again at the next one, encouraging them to leave little bits of fire as you go. As you're walking, they're probably already dead. She's probably already dead.
Shut up. You're the one telling me I need other people. I need her.
Well, are you a god yet? Can you do everything on your own right now?
No, that's why I need her. And Jax. And
you need someone.
that other guy, whatever his name is.
If some people die along the way, big whoop.
Haven't enough people died already?
I'm surprised.
About what?
About you. Here, I thought I was in your head. I knew that there was all to know. But I feel the worry. You weren't this worried when you were about to die, even. Huh.
I don't care if I die.
That's not true. We both know that's not true. You don't care if you die after you've left your mark. No pun intended, as you just got finished leaving a burn on one of the trees. But before that, no. You gotta leave something behind.
I just mean that if I die here, at least I know I'm leaving something behind. If she dies, I don't know what she wants.
Well, if she's already dead and then you die here, what are you leaving? A fool of a dragonborn who thought you two were coming out to here to have sex. Ah, that's a good one. Like you'd ever get a girl.
I had one.
Who left you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Won't
come
make that
on.
mistake again.
I'm busting your fiery balls. Don't get all self-pityful on me.
Why are you even here right now?
I'm always here. And you weren't doing anything productive. I thought I'd chime in.
Well, you're kind of a distraction right now.
Fine, fine. If you want to go back to teaching your new puppy chow what it is he's got to do, leave scorch marks on plants, be my guest. Have fun. But don't forget, it's okay to lose some along the way. They'll be replaced. It slowly fades once more. You can tell you're starting to get close. I want you to go ahead and make stealth check. 2. One for you and one for puppies.
19,
Okay.
and I don't know their stealth. 'Cause I
Dexterity.
don't have them right now.
Yeah, it's
I forgot to pull them up. Give me 1 second.
No worries.
I didn't have them for a while, so I didn't have it pulled up. There we go. Did I say mine?
19.
Okay. 13 for the puppies.
Okay. Good. You begin to become more quieter and quieter, as in the distance you do hear what appears to be just like really loud, large bugs with the wings just. But with a little bit of high-pitched squeaks mixed in with it. And you can tell that you're getting close. Once again, you see the bush that you had left your own, not necessarily indent in, but you knew exactly where you were.
Mhm.
And you walk up to that. You have the puppies lie down, and after your excessive, little bit of training there, which demanded a lot from the little puppies themselves, and they were already ready for a nap beforehand. They walk around in a bit of a circle, cuddle up into the ground, make a pillow out of dirt. Well, 3. One uses paws though, so 2. And they just begin to nap. You guys got kicked. I'll invite you back, but I don't know what that was.
See that.
You're watching, and everything seems very much the same, though.
Okay, so I don't need to do like a perception check or anything to make sure that she's like, alive.
No, she's still standing there. She's still conscious. All the pixies have not lined up like the voice told you it would. They would. They're just still there. Sorry, someone's mowing. I gotta close this. They're still standing around, or they're still flying around, darting from one building to the other, and it doesn't seem like they've taken any course of action. And she's still standing up in the center of all these little pixie huts, and
Okay, then for now, Zasha is going to wait. But while I'm here in the bush, I want to actually use the Wand of Secrets.
okay.
Just to see if there's anything around that I can use to like.
And that detects traps and enchanted items, correct?
It's.
Oh, you're cutting out a bit.
Where was it? Secret door or trap.
Secret doors or traps. Got it.
Secret doors or traps.
The closest one within 30 feet?
Yeah. You can kind of hide. Yeah.
You cast it, and a little pulse just emanates out from it of a small bit of energy. You worry for a second as to whether or not it interrupted their pace, but none of them seem to have noticed as it moves outward. There doesn't appear to be anything that catches your eye afterward. No glowing examples.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So while you wait there, we move back to Jax. Now, Jax, you're walking up now the steps to the castle in Mirage. One by one, these hard sandstone steps bear your weight, but as you move up them, the cane of Grendel puts little divots into them a little bit, and you guys continue up to these giant wooden doors in front of you. They'll be expecting us. Should I knock or you?
just go up and I start banging on the door.
The doors open and sway inward. There appears to be a human male. Can I help you, Dragonborn?
I turn to Grendel. I'm just like, he led me here, said that we had to come here.
Yes. We are here to see her. Okay. I'll take you to Rain then. He, begins to lead you inside, and it's an extravagantly built, not just castle, but like a grand entrance and foyer is just huge, with big steps that lead up, and a throne in front of that. It takes you beyond the throne, around the side of it, and the rooms and hallways obviously become much more narrow, but still not too small. Very sizable. Until you guys come up to a door. Sorry, Jarl. I believe this is the person Rain was speaking of. Come in. The door opens, and there you see in what appears to be sort of a nursing chamber with a singular bed, a number of nurses around, a gentleman sitting at the side of your dragonborn love. There is Rain.
Okay, I run up to her. Is she conscious? She's awake, right?
Make an investigation check.
Not good. 8.
You have no clue. Her eyes are closed. She's in a heavy, heavy sweat.
Okay.
Which, for Dragonborns to sweat, is very uncommon. And it's almost like it is actually acid coming off of her face. It's like the pillows are having a hard time staying together, but it's not as potent as normally. And she's she didn't hear that bit, but do you still run up in hunger?
I like take her hand and kneel next to the bed that she's on, and I look to the person that's with her, and I'm just like, what's wrong with her? What's going on?
Rain here is dying.
Dying of what?
We don't know.
I turned to.
Sorry, go on.
I was gonna say I turned to Grendel and I ask if he knows.
The guy says, all of our mages here have taken looks. All of our healers have tried things. But as he's saying that, and as you look at Grendel, Grendel immediately knows, and he holds up his hand, and he tries to detect. He closes his eyes and winces, like he's really trying to concentrate. He turns his head a bit, and the wince fades. His eyes stay closed, but sorrow just overcomes his face. Yes, this is a spell.
What kind of spell?
Very powerful kind, young dragonborn. Very strong. It is her time.
You told me that we were coming here to help them, that they needed me. There's nothing I can do. You just brought me here to watch her die. I already thought she had died. And, you filled me with hope, thinking she was alive and well. Now I have to watch her die.
Help her, yes, but your sorrow will fade. But this is to help her. And there is the matter of the youngling.
Where is he?
You look at the mage, he doesn't know. He shrugs his shoulders a bit. Well, we kept young Torin out of here to prevent him from seeing this. He's at their homestead.
Which is...
It's just beyond the castle. We set her up in a very large home for all that she did for this city. Oh, you should have seen it. In her heyday, while raising young Torin, she took all the pain that she had felt and turned it into something miraculous. She convinced practically everyone in the city overnight to expand its doors and let go of the selfish hatred and bigotry that many of the citizens still held on to. She's the reason this city is flourishing. She's the reason so many people are happy and feel so accepted. I don't know who would have done this to her. It's horrible. It seems like we all can't imagine a person who truly has evil in their hearts. Yet whenever somebody tries to make this world so much better for the good, there's always someone who does the unthinkable to try and stop it. Why is that?
So, out of game. Before all these changes occurred, there was like the head chief and all that, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
There was the head chief of your tribe, which
Right.
again was mostly on the outskirts of the city of Mirage, because you guys were very rarely or very conditionally allowed into the city.
Right. So my tribe is still there, right? She's just within the city now.
So far as you know.
Okay. And to my knowledge, like, part of my backstory is still in the works. Like, the chief does not like what went on, correct? So
Correct.
Jax would be thinking the chief might have something to do with this.
Correct.
Okay. just look at her with tears in my eyes and then turn back to Grendel and say that we need to find out who did this to her, and we need to put a stop to them or get them to break this spell.
Yes. I am sorry, Dragonling, but even if we knew, even if they were here right now, that would not be possible to undo it.
How much time does she have?
Not long.
And my son has no idea this is happening to her.
She has been not well for a while, and the son, Torin, did know that her time was coming, but we did not want him to see the end, and we had a feeling that it was close, said the Jarl.
He should get a chance to say his goodbyes.
He has. It is just your turn now, said Grendel.
Okay, so I don't know if she can actually hear me, obviously, based off of my role, but
The Jarl stands up. We will leave you to it. Yes, and I, says Grendel, will wake her. Give her the strength. He waves over his hand, and you see this little bit of energy come back to her. Her eyes slowly open up, and like with little bits of tear. You don't know if it's just from the coughs, from the whatever. They're wet. They have a bit of tear in them already. Oh, hello. She lets out a big smile.
I take her and I give her a kiss.
It's good to see you again.
It's good to see you too. I didn't know if you two survived. I meant to come back, but I just couldn't.
I know. It's just good to have you here now.
Do you know who did this to you?
No. It doesn't matter, though. I did what I set out to do. I made this place better. You know, when I did it, I thought of you. And I thought of how maybe if we just had a place to go, to take off our minds off things. Somewhere where we were welcome and accepted and didn't stand out.
Take a rag and I dab her mouth.
She moves close to it.
Does our son know of me?
A bit. He knows that you're a discoverer and a journeyman. That's what I told him.
Should I go to him?
been assured that when I'm done, he will be taken care of by the people that he's known for a long time, but he should always be watched out for. He's a really good kid. You would have loved him. To see the most precious years, and I just thank God that I was there for those.
I wish I could have been.
Her eyes begin to swell up with tears, even more so, and one runs down her cheek. It's difficult to tell from the water that you're dabbing on her, but it still stands out.
I just take both of her hands and tell her that I love her and I will always love her. And there will never be anyone
No.
who can replace her in my heart.
Don't say that.
Say it with some emotion, man.
This is Jax's emotion.
Don't say that. I want you to move on and find love and happiness. I just ask that you make sure that he, little Torin, grows up to find love and happiness, and I hope that this world is better suited for him than it was for us.
I'll do my best to make sure that I do that for him and for you.
Her eyes slowly close, and life fades.
Jax's eyes well up and tears fall down his face as he stands up and leans over and gives her a final kiss.
Minutes pass. The room has a stillness to it. You know that there are still probably many people standing outside. You just hear footsteps, little bits of whispering occasionally, but there's still a silentness in the air. With the window open and flowers sitting on the windowsill, not a petal moves.
I stand and I turn and begin to walk out.
Okay. Yes. That was for her, not for you.
I understand. Dry my eyes and say that I would like to go see my son.
Yes. As well we might. After you. You walk by and the nurses and the servants that were around are standing there in a line, sort of their heads bowing, and as you walk by, even the Jarl bows his head down.
I
Sadness on all their faces.
thank the Jarl for doing what he could.
Yes, well, of course. I don't know if she told you, but we have accommodations arranged for Torin.
That is what she said.
There's a gentleman who's been like a grandfather to young Torin. You will stay with him unless things change, but it does have a place if you continue on your events.
I don't know if I'm the best thing for him right now. So, if it's alright with you, I would like him to stay here and you just make sure he's alright.
We will. I don't know if she told you, but he has too been detrimental in continuing the effect and, heck, even the persuasion of those who wanted to hold bigotry in their hearts. He's made himself very useful for the city, and he was working with us, with his mother, who was getting a salary, but I think it's about time that he gets paid for his efforts and continues the work that she started. Alright. You guys begin to head over to the house that I told you about, but we are going to go ahead and head back over to Mira now. Hello, Rachel.
Hello.
So, you've had a bit of time, obviously, to think about your next move.
Mine with that heavy backstory stuff, I kind of didn't, but yeah, I've been thinking. So I'm left with an empty crossbow, and I can only move my arms.
And your mouth.
And my mouth. Was I supposed to shoot one of them? This wasn't really thought through.
I don't know.
Do I have any of my items on me?
Good question. You check your pockets, it doesn't seem like you do. In fact, there's nothing in any of your pockets, nothing in any... You're still wearing your clothes. You don't have any of your weapons, though. You don't have any items. You're just there, and they're just there, staring at you, both watching your eyes.
Can I lift the table?
You try, it appears to be like it's part of the floor of the ground itself.
Can I keep trying to move my legs?
Yeah. Go ahead and make a strength check.
14.
They're not budging. Your legs just do not move. In front of you in the pillar, even if you try and lean over to one side to walk around it, it's just, you cannot move.
Do either of you know what I should do?
They just stand there. Voiceless. Well, hold on. Let's roll for that again. Simultaneously, they go, speak.
That's what I'm doing. Should I say anything specific? This is starting to get annoying.
Again, they go, speak.
I'm starting to get pissed off.
Speak with purpose, they say.
About what?
They both just stand there.
I'm... What kind of purpose? This cryptic... Hold on.
They both begin to tilt their head. Still looking at you, though, in the eyes.
Hold on one second, I need to do something. I'm really sorry.
No worries. Then actually it's at this point that we're gonna go quickly back over to Jax real quick. Back to Jax. And Jax, you guys are approaching the building, which again, Grendel had a place in mind. But as you're walking, and he's walking, putting all the pressure onto his cane, you can tell that it's putting a bit of a strain on him, but he's still not breaking a sweat. All of a sudden, in his hand, a scroll evaporates and comes to being. Ah, he is learning. He quickly takes off the thing holding the scroll closed and unrolls it. You should have a look at this. He hands you it, and it is what Justin said earlier. That they went out into the woods, and Mira needs to be saved from pixies.
Okay. Out of game, I was kind of hoping you were gonna do that because character-wise, I didn't feel like Jax was actually ready to face his son. So, okay, he reads it, turns to Grendel and asks if he can quickly teleport him to his friends, like he did when he teleported us to Delilah.
Well, that is the thing. Teleportation circle is much better because teleportation magic itself is rather frowned upon. As he's looking at the people passing by, giving them a not necessarily stink eye, but he's looking at them under his eyebrows with one raised, just like concentrating, making sure nobody's listening too hard, but very intently and obviously with his facial expression concentrating.
Okay.
It would be best first to get back to the teleportation circle and then teleport to your friend.
Okay. As long as we can make it as quick as possible.
Right. And your son?
I'll come back another day. I don't think right now is the best time.
Right. Off we go. So you guys start heading back there. Are you back with us yet, Rachel?
Kind of. There's a lot of noise going on. My apologies.
No worries. You're good. So you asked them what kind of purpose, and they just tilted their heads.
All right. Let's see. Sorry.
No worries. No worries. Understandable.
All right. So the first thing they showed me was me trying to take something. I couldn't leave until I put it back, and then there was something weird and sappy that happened.
Make an investigation check or intelligence check.
Oh gosh, natural one.
Okay. Yeah, that's correct.
I think I would remember what I saw like 5 minutes ago. Hopefully.
Okay, yes, that's not only correct, but yes, how you perceive it is correct.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that makes any more sense.
Okay.
Probably not.
And then it was a few days before I left, in the living room. And then I jumped off the ledge, and now I'm here.
You're thinking all this out loud. They're just staring at you with their heads tilted again. Then they go. They turn their heads straight up. Speak with purpose.
I don't know what's going on. Is that enough purpose for you? Is this some... Oh, God. Is this weird and cryptic, good, bad scenario? That doesn't make sense, because there's good and morally gray, not good and bad. So I'm not quite sure what this is supposed to be. Jax, why are you here?
Now it's just singled out on Jax's voice. Speak with purpose.
Oh my, is that what that is?
Gosh darn it. My mic is on. Oh, God. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Let's hope this works. I'm sorry I lied to you. I'm sorry I went off without telling you where I was going under a false pretense to do something morally questionable.
Again in Jax's voice. What did you do?
I took the wings off some pixies.
Why would you do that?
Because it could get something that could help us.
But how could you do that?
Are you talking about how, as in how could I
How could you do
physically? Or... Well, you kind of just take the wings and then you just pull them off.
that? No.
It's not that hard.
How could you do that? You're Mira. You need protecting. How could you do that?
I don't need protecting. I just like to have people around me that can take hits for me. So I don't have to worry about it.
Take hits for you? What do you mean by take hits for you?
Distractions, I guess.
How could you do that?
It's easy, I guess. I step out of the way and someone else takes a hit.
How could you be happy with that?
Never said I'm happy with it.
But you do it. How could you do that?
Keeps me alive.
It's not a nice thing.
It's not nice, but this world isn't nice.
You are not Mira.
Nice people. I am.
Mira is
And nice
kind.
people.
Mira needs protecting.
I'm not nice.
You are nice. Mira
How so?
is kind. Mira needs protecting.
How am I nice?
Mira is kind. Mira needs protecting.
No, I don't.
He tilts his head once again. Just him. They're both silent.
Why are you here, Mom?
She stays silent.
Do you think I need protecting too? That I can't do anything? Neither of you are any help.
Jax once again says, Mira is kind. Mira needs protecting. But then your mother says something different and speaks for the first time on her own. She says, everybody dies. It's not our fault.
But it was.
How
It was our fault. We pushed too hard.
We pushed as hard as we needed to. Now come,
No.
sit and drink your tea.
No, we pushed too hard. I pushed too hard.
She begins to tilt her head.
I tried things your way, and it went too far. And it's a really hard habit to break.
Jack says, Mira is kind. Mira needs protecting.
Are you gonna protect me?
Mira is
Or are
kind.
you gonna leave?
Mira is kind. Mira needs protecting.
And who's gonna protect me? You're just gonna die.
Once again, Jax repeats himself, but the mom, she repeats what she was going to say, but slightly different. She says, instead of, come sit down and drink your tea, she says, come home and drink your tea.
We don't have a home.
Come home and drink your tea.
We don't have a home we never had.
Come home and drink your tea.
Is the crossbow still empty?
Yep. It's still in reach. It's like on the table in front of you.
I'm gonna close my eyes while holding the crossbow and think really hard about a bolt being in there.
Interesting.
I don't know if this is real or not, but it's worth a try.
There's a bolt. When you open your eyes, there's a bolt.
And there's still the door over there.
Still the door.
I'm gonna trust this is a dream because there's no way you two would be in the same room ever. And I turn it around and I shoot myself.
All right.
You did it. That's what I was shouting at myself earlier.
You fall.
She wasn't gonna straight up shoot herself when she doesn't know what's going on.
You feel a sharp pain for like a second, but you feel yourself fall back. And you fall. And you fall. Only thing above you is the darkness of the room. As you fall back, the ground disappears and you fall until you drop on the ground once again, stand up to your feet, and in front of you, Jax, your mother, in a crossbow with one bolt.
That wasn't the right thing to do. Great. Can I try and move again?
Yeah. Strength.
Come on. 17.
It's better. You still can't move. You get a nudge like you're almost about to, but...
Can either of you be any more specific at all? This is ridiculous.
Mira is nice. Mira needs protecting. Come home and drink your tea.
I look at my mother. I'm not gonna come home because you're just gonna gloat in my face how I couldn't make it and how you're always right. And you, I point to Jax. I try. I really try to be nice, but I don't know if I actually am. I don't know. I guess it's how people perceive me. Even if I'm lying to them, is it still nice? If I say things that make them happy? And I don't need protecting. Because I made it this far without you, without Zash, without anybody else. 2 years. I've been on my own for 2 years, and I've been fine. Anything else to say?
The door at the end of the room opens.
And all it took was a temper tantrum. Fantastic. Can I move?
You are able to move. What felt like magnet shoes you were wearing that kept you on the ground appeared to have just disappeared, and you're able to walk once more.
I'm gonna grab the crossbow and walk through the door.
You do. As you do, the room behind you fades. The door that you walk through, it goes from a completely blackened room to a completely white room. And once you pass through the door, the handle, the door itself, the room, all disperses like a gust in the wind, and you feel a little gust of wind. As in but a blink, that blinding whiteness fades to a wooded area. Around you are pixies, flying back and forth. And in front of you, a table. And on it, 3 sets of pixie wings.
Do I have the crossbow?
You do not have the crossbow. Or actually, let's see something. Yeah, no.
I'm surrounded by pixies, correct?
You are surrounded by pixies.
You guys are really messed up. Do you speak common?
You hear little bits of like what appears to be their conversation, like really high pitched. And as they continue to buzz by you, none of them respond to your question.
Do you speak Elvish? I say in Elvish.
None of them respond to that.
I feel like if I grab these, it's a trap. Do I have any of my stuff?
Make an investigation check.
I'm not gonna know. 6.
6. You don't have your weapons. It doesn't feel like you have anything in your pockets.
Can I move?
You can move.
Okay. I'm gonna walk to where I think town is, because this is not worth it.
So you walk away. And as you walk away, your feet become heavier and slowly stop. Everything begins to pixelate and disappear once again.
I knew it!
Fading.
I knew it!
And a lot more suddenly. You wake up. You're standing in the same woods. No table. No wings. Pixies flying around you in all directions. It's at this point that behind Zash, a puddle of blue liquid forms to surprise Jax and Grendel pop out, and Mira wakes up.
We're like directly behind Zash.
Yes, you definitely caught the attention of the pixies, but none of them seem to be responding. Including you, Jax. Or Zash.
I was already awake.
Yes, I mean, you caught the attention of the pixies as well, because they're right behind you. They see you
right.
too, but they're not responding.
Zash, I got your letter. What's going on here?
Just look.
Ah, pixies. It would appear as though she was being tested, says Grendel. Well, this is good news. Mira, I wouldn't linger too long. Yes?
I feel like I'm gonna throw up.
Yes, it's common. Come with us.
I just kind of fall over.
Would one of you two strong, young people mind getting that?
Jax runs over, grabs Mir.
Piggyback?
Throws him over his shoulder, fireman style.
Yeah.
Jax.
It's tradition.
Jax.
Yes.
You're real, right?
Yeah.
Am I nice?
Think so. Yes.
Do you think I'm incapable of handling myself?
No.
Good.
Weird. I walk towards everyone else.
You continue to walk, and it's, I will admit, a little bit nauseating too, with each heavy step fall of his right leg as he has you over his right shoulder, bumps you up and down a bit. But you guys continue to make your way back to the city, or the town, the small town.
Flash.
Yeah.
I didn't get the wings.
I think I did. I'm asking as me.
Um,
Because my unseen servant did have some.
You handed them off to me.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And
Okay.
in Mira's inventory, basically, you do have everything but those wings.
I
Okay.
don't have the root.
Well, you know I'm still counting that as a favor, right?
Screw you.
He smiles in a way that you can kind of tell that, you know, he's glad you're alive, but he was actually being serious.
You guys also pass by the shop, and Mira doesn't see it, but there's a bit of a look of concern on the face of I almost wanted to say Shoe Sharp, but I know that's wrong. Sarlacc. As he concerning a little, mostly curiosity though, looking over like what's going on, but he has a bit of an idea, and yeah. You guys continue. Do you guys where do you head into, or where do you head to?
To the inn.
To the inn.
We all need a rest.
What time is it?
Doesn't matter.
It is. Yeah. It's the sun was setting. Is that happened pretty much?
Wait, it does matter. Those guards said we had to be out by noon.
Well, to you guys, I want my stuff.
The sun is just about set. Shops are still open, but we're gonna close soon.
Put me down. Put me down.
I sat
Let's
down
go
here.
back.
See as people try to begin packing up stuff.
Before going into town, Zash disguises himself as a random villager. Like he'd
Okay.
seen, people around town.
Yeah.
Just so they don't stop him.
What do you do with the pups?
Crap.
Left
Jack's
them out
back
in the
or something,
woods.
right?
Damn it.
Jax does have a backpack.
We're gonna burn through that backpack.
Uh,
Look, wait, you guys have to be out of the city? What did you do? And I look at Zash.
I'm not very good at talking to people, right?
I also know that your dogs made a mess.
Yeah, it was kind of their fault, but I didn't handle it well.
But you have such a way with words. I'm being sarcastic. The nausea is kind of leveling that out. What do you guys need? And I'll get it, and we can go.
Just need my gauntlets from the armory.
Cool.
I mean, I could use a rest, but I guess we could do that outside.
Yeah, camping, yay. I'm gonna go get my stuff and his stuff.
Sure, you can
And-
make it.
Yes, I can. And I'm also gonna grab our sorcerer, wizard friend, whatever, and grab him and we can go. I'm assuming
You
he.
go get Kel.
Oh, God. I'm gonna go to the armory first.
Yeah. You head over to the armory. You pick up your. What did you get from him again?
10 crossbow bolts.
Ah, yes. You pick those up. Do you pick up Jax? Did you go with?
I'm gonna pick up his.
Okay,
So
just
I'm
want to
gonna
make
pick
sure.
up his
Yeah.
gauntlets for him.
Just want to make sure that you picked up those gauntlets. I didn't want to lead to that and say, "Do you get his gauntlets?" But yeah. Or
Alright.
no, it was his armor, wasn't it? No, it was the gauntlets. You're right.
it was, I was just having them engraved.
Yes.
I mean, to be fair, if Jax is staying outside, Zash would still leave the puppies with Jax and go in disguise. Because, he went through all that work of getting, protecting Mira. He wouldn't leave her now.
All right.
You did so much. Thank you so much.
I brought Jax. I didn't know that you'd get out of it yourself. I did a lot of work.
Yeah. To be fair, when you jumped, it was very close to being bad. Sorry. I'm really happy that you did that, just to be sure, Zash. But yes, that was good.
All right.
So, you head out into the inn as well, correct?
I'm gonna go to Sarlocke first.
Ah, do you have the items?
Some.
What?
I found the root.
Ah, that comes in handy. So, no pixie wings.
Nope, couldn't find any.
Understandable. Here, still for your efforts, a lesser potion of healing.
That's awfully kind of you.
Yes. Did you put any more thought into my other wares?
I'm kind of in a hurry. Apparently, my friend was an idiot and we have to leave. But do you know where that guy who sold me the thing is? He was getting it for me, and I don't know if he'll meet me at my inn.
Ah. I believe that he should still be at the Sleepy Hollow. He stays in town for a number of weeks at a time there.
Alright. Thank you.
Any day. Come back soon.
I will think about it. I'm going to the Sleepy Hollow.
Alright. You head to the Sleepy Hollow. And he is sitting in the den once again. He looks up, sees you, and has a bit of an annoyed look on his face and looks back at his book.
Think you have something for me?
Yeah, and I've been sitting here all day with it.
Well, I had to run an errand for Sarlacc, and it took a while. My apologies.
A warning next time. Here are your items. Out of character, I totally forget. Did you pay already?
Yeah, I paid.
Are you just saying that?
No, I really did
Okay,
pay.
okay, you did pay? Okay. Cool.
Forgery kit and poisoner's kit.
Here are your items. Your forgeries kit. And... Oh, and again, out of character, you already took that ring, right? Yeah, you
Yeah, I
have.
already took them in the don't worry.
A pleasure.
Put it in the thing though.
Now, since I was forced to read this book, it's actually pretty intriguing. I'd like to get back to it, so... See ya.
Goodbye.
And just pays no more attention.
Next stop, getting Calendir. And I'm just gonna go to the last place I saw him, which was the guild.
Mage's Guild?
Yeah.
You walk in and you don't see him in that room.
Calendir, we're leaving. If you want to come with, get up and go.
Perception is plus wisdom, right?
Yes.
It
Yeah.
is.
That's why mine sucks.
He has good wisdom because he's a wizard, so or sorcerer, so. Oh. Okay then.
21.
As you walk back, yeah, no, Grendel walked back on his own. He's in there, and he goes, or he goes downstairs and is like, "Are you ready to go?" And you can very faintly hear this from up above. He goes into the kitchen really, and you don't really see where he goes. He goes, "Are you ready to go?" And Kelrendir starts to ask him if he could take some books, and he says, "Well, maybe just a few, but be sure to return them in the future." And Kelrendir is very, very appreciative of this. And he joins you once again out in the front room. Sorry about that.
It's fine.
How was your stay in town?
It sucked. Let's go.
Oh, sorry.
I start walking out the door.
Alright, coming. As he follows behind, carrying handfuls of books, not having time to put them into his bags and stuff. Alright. And you guys, once again, was there anything that Sash wanted to do in town during this time too?
I mean, he was just with Mira, making
Just-
sure she's okay.
Yeah. I just want to make sure. Okay, so as you guys begin to head out, and everyone's done in town, you once again meet up with Jack standing outside, holding a fluffy little three-headed puppy. With a bit of a smile, yet a bit of a, oh my goodness, chuckle on his face, seeing the group of you head out. And the future of your journey ahead of you. That is where we're going to go ahead and end tonight's session. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to like and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're watching on here, just subscribe. You'll be able to get notified every single time that we go live. We host every Monday night at 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time here on Twitch. And again, everything gets uploaded within the week afterwards on YouTube. Once again, Twitch, www.twitch.tv/themajesticgaming, and YouTube, youtube.com/themajestic, and hopefully with podcasts to come in the future. But thank you again for watching, and we hope to see you again soon. Say goodbye, everyone.
Uh,
Bye, everyone.